Hey everybody, John C.
Denise Richards and my lovely assistant, Lulu.
Welcome back to another All Things Homes, where we talk about everything that has to do with your home, inside, outside, upside, downside, anything around your home. Sometimes even things that have nothing to do with your home.
Once in a while.
Pretty much every
Maybe
episode.
it's about somebody else's home, but I think it's still going to be about a home.
I think you're right. Welcome to today's episode. I can already tell you it's going to be an amazing episode because of a few things we have on our board to go through today. First of all, today is June 22nd, 2023. If you're watching this in the future, yes, we do wear white shirts on occasion like this and all match because, why do we do that?
It is National White T-Shirt Day.
It is. And if you look that up, you may not find it because we made it up.
We did. We just decided because we were all wearing white T-shirts, today is National White T-Shirt Day.
So put on your white T-shirt today or dress shirt, whatever color. Well, it's got to be white, but it can be a nice shirt. It can be a dress. How about a white dress? Because Angie's got a nice white dress. Could it be that?
It could be a white dress because the top would still be white.
So we're making it up as we go. Happy White T-Shirt Day. So yeah. Awesome to you guys. Thanks for watching today on June 22nd. We're glad you're here. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that real quick.
Please.
And then go ahead and put on your white T-shirt.
Yeah.
If you didn't see last episode, it was pretty good. We talked about Citizens, and tell the audience who Citizens is.
Well, Citizens is Florida's insurance company. It's a government run, it's your last chance, last choice insurance company.
Yeah, it's your last option.
Yeah, and it was probably one of my favorite episodes.
It was mine too, I think, although there's one right before that too that was really good, but it was a wonderful episode. Now, Citizens is probably not who you want to choose first and foremost. And if you want to know more about Citizens, who they are, what they provide for us in Florida specifically, I don't know if they're out of the state. Do you know if they service?
I don't believe so.
I think it's government run. Is it government run? We
Completely.
Talked a little bit about that before, and you know how that goes when things are run by the government. So if you want to watch that video and hear about Citizens, click on the link below or somewhere. I don't know. Just go back somewhere.
Just find it.
Just find it.
Yeah,
do that for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this episode today. I found this wonderful article, and it really hit home with me because it talks about Airbnbs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Airbnbs.
AirB&B.
AirB&B. Airbnb investing, risk, and benefits. So for maybe like 1% of the population, what is an Airbnb? You want to tell people what that is?
Well, rather than it being an annual rental where you have one renter all year long, you'll have a series of renters throughout the year or season, depending on where you live.
Well explained. That's exactly right. So more short-term renters.
Yeah, short-term renters. And as a consumer, it's a great way to lodge somewhere without really the cost of a hotel, yet all the benefits of being in an entire home.
I feel like you could be a spokesperson for Airbnb. That was really good.
I really like them.
Wow,
it's
okay.
a great concept, especially as an investor. Because that's really what we're about, right?
It is.
And it's educating our clients and what that would be, what it would look like, how much would it cost?
Is it smart?
How much would it earn?
Yeah. So the great point. So this article says Airbnb investing, it comes with risk and benefits. So let's talk about both, okay? The benefits of an Airbnb investment. When we say Airbnb, by the way, VRBO, same thing, right? Just a different platform on where it can be placed, okay? And it doesn't have to be placed on either of those websites. You can do short-term rentals on your own, of course, but these platforms make it so easy to use because they already have a consumer base who are already going to those websites looking for rentals, and they'll put yours on there for you. Benefits of Airbnb. Number one, great source of passive income.
Oh, I've seen them on the tax returns when I'm calculating people's income, for sure. Makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that. So it can show as an income.
Yep, you can show it as an income, and depending on how things go for you that year, and maybe you need to show it as a loss, there's that flexibility for you there too, but you'd, of course, want to talk to your CPA.
Oh, great. Easy to maintain is number two.
Yes.
Okay, so if you own one, it's not too difficult to maintain, especially if you have somebody like a property manager helping you. Number three, benefit is flexibility. In resort areas, it says here, they can be more profitable during the holidays, which is pretty cool. And then also earlier on in this article talked about being able to use it as your own benefit of going and using it like Angie and I do.
You
for
guys
ours.
do. Mm-hmm.
We do that for ours up in North Carolina. We're going up there actually in a couple weeks. And that's fun because we don't have to pay somebody to rent it.
Isn't that lovely?
It is lovely. Easy to find guest is number 4, and I would agree with that.
Because of the apps you mentioned.
Because of those apps, they have a great consumer base that are looking for places to rent, which I think is pretty cool. I didn't see it in this article with the benefits, but it's also a good benefit for tax purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out you can do a cost segregation on your property and use that and bring those tax incentives up early, and you can use those early on in your ownership instead of stringing it out over 28 years, I think it is. You can acquire those and use those early, which is cool.
Wow.
Anyways,
I bet you were talking to Lo Paul.
Lo Paul, I did talk to Lo Paul about it. I also talked to Leo, a CPA. Talked to a lot of people about it. My broker here.
Very interesting.
It is very interesting. I'm a very interesting guy.
No,
That's
not
what people
you.
say.
The subject you're talking about, John. Come on now.
Risk of Airbnb investments. So what are some of the risks, okay? Higher startup cost.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, you've got to furnish it. You've got to buy it.
You got to buy it. But if you're buying it, what's different, I think, there in regards to purchasing it, can you put 3% down typically on an investment property?
No. So there is a bigger investment initially in terms of a down payment. So the purchase part of it, whether you're paying cash or whether you're financing, is absolutely there that very first year.
Yeah. So instead of like an FHA loan or something where maybe you only have to put 3% down, an investment property typically you need
25%. Yeah, typically.
Number 2, irregular income. This is a risk of owning a Airbnb type property. It fluctuates a little bit. Whereas an annual rental, if you have somebody in there, you know exactly what that renter is paying every month. You have a lease agreement for 12 months or 6 months if it's a shorter term, and that's not irregular. But Airbnb, very irregular.
It can be very irregular, especially with the economy too. When things happen, look what happened with COVID, right? So things can happen in that respect. But I do know that there is a product that exists in the insurance world called rent loss insurance. And I don't know if that works for a seasonal rental like an Airbnb or if it's just for annual rentals, but it's something to definitely ask your insurance agent about.
Never heard of it. Guess I'm reaching out to my insurance agent to ask him about that. Number 3, risk of theft or damage. And so that'll happen. You get a lot more, I don't know if transient's the right word, but you get more transient people in instead of, like I mentioned, with an annual rental to one family or one person for 12 months. You know who's there. Airbnb rentals, you may have somebody different every weekend.
Exactly. And that can be risky, especially at time of spring break.
So far, a personal, yes, yeah, exactly. Especially if you're here in Florida, spring break. Now, our cabin in North Carolina, that not many young kids go and rent there in spring break. But one of the benefits benefits of Airbnbs, they do require they don't require, but they give the option to only rent to people over a certain age. I think 25, something like that. Anyways, risk of theft or damage. So we have had only a few small items taken from our place, nothing major. Damage, somebody dropped something in one of the bathtubs and put a big old, like a quarter-sized ding in. I don't know how you do that on a porcelain tub. But anyways, we got it fixed, but not the end of the world. So you do have theft or damage. Again, you need somebody to manage that and watch over it after tenants come in and out.
Highly recommended.
Highly recommended. Last one, guest liability. So you're going to want insurance to cover anything that happens with somebody there is what it's talking about here. If you have medical bills that the guest, maybe they trip on something or burn themselves on some hot water or something. I don't know. The people are sue happy. Okay.
And it's true. And if you have a mortgage on this property, your lender is going to require you to have that. So
yes,
yeah, your insurance agent's going to be a big piece of this. So
big piece, and I'm glad you said that because that's not in the article. I mean, you're just adding so much value to these people that aren't even in these articles.
I don't know what you would do without me, John.
So I don't either. Lula, what would I do without you? Don't know where to go with that one. Market news today. What would you do if you were wanting to buy one of these? How would you borrow money for an Airbnb? You would reach out to Denise.
There are so many different options, too, because how the market has changed in the last, I would say, 2 years, especially with regard to investment properties. There are a lot of creative ways to finance an investment property. We have a debt service where we're just looking at the income potential of the property as opposed to your tax returns. There are so many different and unique ways to buy an investment property. So if financing is on the table for you, I would be very happy to talk to you about it. It's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, and you lend outside of Florida.
All over the country.
So if you're looking for an Airbnb option and it's anywhere in the U.S., reach out to Denise. And you may have thought about it 2-3 years ago but products are new. There's a lot of stuff out there now that weren't available 2 or 3 years ago.
Exactly. And those types of products are only available on investment properties.
Boom.
Kind of a hybrid between residential and commercial, if you think of it.
I do think of it. Think of it right now. Local connection. Let's jump into that next thing, and we're going to connect them with me. Okay. So if you're looking for an Airbnb, I know this is all about. I feel like this episode's all about us. I feel like, which is fine because it is the John and Denise show. Local connection. Connect with me if you want to purchase a place and you're thinking about an Airbnb for this Southwest Florida area, which are really popular around here. Reach out to me. Love to help you. Airbnbs can be a little difficult in the gated communities or certain condos because they have pretty tight restrictions on how long somebody has to stay. They don't want a lot of transient hotel feel in a lot of parts of Naples and Fort Myers, Benito Estero, but there are plenty of areas around here that are still not in like a gated community or have rules and regulations, and people can purchase those and use those as Airbnbs.
You know, John, you made a good point about me being able to lend all over the country.
Yes.
Well, you have a connection through Keller Williams that if somebody wants to buy an Airbnb someplace else in the country and needs a local expert like John, he would be your first call anyway.
Call me anyways, because I can find those people in those areas through our database of Keller Williams, since we are the largest real estate brokerage in the world. I can find you the perfect agent there that focuses maybe on these types of purchases, and we'll know how to run the numbers for you to make sure it's be profitable for you. All right, that was a wonderful episode. Actually, top 5, I'd say. I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was definitely top 5.
That's just because you're humble and you are the connection.
That's true. That's true. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will see you again next week. And if you haven't yet, like and subscribe. And if you want to get crazy, share this video. You hit a share button, I think, too.
Live on the edge.
Live on the edge, guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.